stream right now. Okay, so yeah, we're streaming. Yeah. Um.
Cool. We're live
Yeah,
from
we're live
LA.
on YouTube and stream.me. Assuming that I have this set up correctly and did not mess up the settings, but it's all good.
Stream.me. He's a pioneer.
Yeah. So, we actually see rehabilitating the incels is kind of like a offshoot of Radio Prozac's segment. They had a segment where they were rehabilitating alt right kids. And there was this one gay guy who was like a Richard Spencer fan or whatever, but he got kicked out of his house because he made anti-Semitic jokes about his dad, and had to have a
Oh, come
GoFundMe.
on. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
make jokes at my dad's expense all the time. If he kicked me out for that, I would have starved to death by now.
oh, okay, all right, yeah. So tell me what happened to the Discord. While you're talking about that, I'm looking at the r/gaming not Discord, Reddit, to try to find their Discord channel to see if we can
Yeah,
hop
I don't
on
know if
there.
they have one. I don't know if they have a Discord channel, but
Oh,
there's no guarantee that is the thing. But they are pretty autistic over there. Every post I think I've ever seen on r/game. I don't go on Reddit a lot, but I've
yeah, me
seen
neither.
people talk about this a lot, and I was like, I can't believe this is real. And I go see this for myself, and it happens to be a thing on Reddit. r/gaming. Every post is just, hey guys, I was cleaning out my attic, and guess what I found? And it's like a Nintendo 64, and it's like a couple more pictures of them turning it on, and it still works. Okay,
Oh.
this thing you mean you can get at like any hobby game store?
The thing that you kept in the attic that I like, if you keep it in an
Yeah.
area that's like not moist and dry, it should still be the same functional,
Yeah,
functionality that you
you'll
put
be
it in.
fine. Hey idiot, you'll be fine. You don't need to post about this on Reddit to farm fucking out. But I don't. Reddit is like the worst MMO I've ever seen in my life. It's like Yahoo Answers used to be,
Oh,
where everything is just a post to see how much karma or whatever it is on there. I think different subreddits have different things, or maybe it's all the same. I don't know, but like
well, I mean, I'll
everything
tell you,
people
I'll tell you
post.
one
Yeah.
thing. They have an r/cuckolds subreddit, which
Oh,
you
they have
think
a.
you think it's a bunch of people calling each other cuck all the time, but it's actually no, it's people talking
It's
about the
real
community
cuckolds.
and like the lifestyle and all that stuff. And I was, I don't know if if you listened to my
Woo.
Dewey Donovan interview, where I was talking about how I thought that would be an avenue to try to rehabilitate some incels, right? You hook up these incels with these cuckolds, and then you can work out some kind of
Oh, the incel's gonna be the bull. Okay,
yeah,
I
yeah,
see where
yeah,
you're
yeah.
going with this. Yeah, I like this so far. Okay.
Yeah, and then you do this, and it'll clean up a lot of this turmoil that's all over. You wouldn't have to have these Gillette commercials anymore because you know
Oh,
that all
thank
that's doing is
God.
just pissing people off. So
Yeah, the problem with these incels though, most of them, if forgive me if I'm got this terminology incorrect, but for the people who are listening who might not know, incel means, if I'm right, involuntary celibate person. Basically,
yeah,
somebody who can't get fucked, even because it's not that they don't want to have sex, they really want to, but they just can't make it happen
yeah,
for whatever reason.
they also use it to describe Elliot Rogers, who like didn't even try. Like he
Like, yeah,
in
well,
his
he
manifesto,
wanted
he
it.
literally
Yeah.
writes that girls talked to him when he was in middle school, and then when he was in college, he would make no approaches to anybody, and then
Probably
he's
why
saying
no
like
one wanted to be your girlfriend, dude.
he's like, oh, they deserve it. I have to go and kill everybody. It's like, no, you don't have to go and kill. Well, first of all, he spent all that money on a gun and bullets and knives and stuff. He could have spent that at like the Bunny Ranch or something instead. Like, that would have been a better investment
Just
in my
yeah,
opinion.
just take a trip to Tijuana, dude. Do a bunch of hookers and blow, and if you still want to kill yourself at the end of that, then just do it.
But he was
Nobody's
upset
gonna blame you.
that he or as he says, people like him would have to pay for it. But the thing is, he didn't even try, and then he didn't even listen to the whole everybody pays for it, one way or another. That's really how it is.
Yeah, like I don't know. There seems to be a common thread with these types of people like him. Not shooters, but people who are potential shooters. There seems to be this sort of thread that
We
connects
can call
them.
them pre-shooters, right? Because like
Yeah.
they haven't
Okay.
shot
Yeah.
yet, but it's
Premature ejaculators. Yeah. Sure. They fucking have this thing where they idealize a woman in their mind. It has to be like this one type of woman,
yeah.
and
For Elliot
anything
Rogers, it was like
below that.
specifically a white girl who was very hot. Like Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what
like
he had to put race into it. It was a really a weird
that's
thing.
another
Like,
thing. Yeah, that's another thing that connects them is they always have
wait,
like a
but you know
race
that
thing.
girl who's in the Discord who's like saying that she only likes guys who have cut penises? Like, isn't that basically like the chick version of having a race fetish? Like, it's not something that the guy mostly has control over. In fact, arguably, um, yeah, it's basically the same thing, really. If it happens during childbirth or something like that.
Yeah, if you get cut, I don't think there's any way to go back from that. But if you're not cut, I guess you could always get cut, but then you can't go back. So
Yeah, so
I
basically,
don't
if you're
know.
saying that you prefer cut guys, that means you want a guy from one of these countries where it's common practice, such as America, Israel, Philippines, and
Is it
whatever other.
common here in
Hmm?
America?
In America, I think
Is it?
it's somewhat common. It's more common in America than it is in European countries. I think.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I never really got into the whole meme debate of cut versus uncut, but I don't think it's a racist version thing because chicks have their races, right? Like there's some girls who only fuck black guys, but
Oh yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
think it's more.
we're not gonna get into like the terminology for that because that could be considered something that would get us kicked off YouTube. So we won't go into the details of that.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like
Yeah, I'm not going into any
like
details,
my
but
co-host Taze,
yeah.
he's not here right now because Taze, he's a guy who really enjoys basketball a lot, and he commonly gets into altercations with police, but he can't make it today, so that's why it's just me here. But he's a good guy. I wouldn't say that it's something that we need to make a big deal about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I'll put this out on record. I'm not trying to save face here. I really believe this. I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody having a preference. Um,
Like you being gay or straight, right? It's like a preference for a gender. It's like
it's just you can't help what you like. You can't help what you're into. If a girl likes cut cocks, that's no different from a guy who likes small tits. Like I don't know. I don't see that there's like an issue with that. If you're not what the girl's looking for, obviously you probably might take issue with it because
Mhm.
it's going to be a whole lot harder to better, but or maybe not. You maybe not possible to better, but
yeah.
yeah,
All right,
that's
I'll
kind of
just go
how
look for
I see
Reddit
that.
discords, and then when I find it, I'll ask you if that's one of the discords you don't want to get banned from, or if it's
Okay.
good to go. And then yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, so while I'm looking this up, you can tell me more about that whole like the fiasco with the dick. Everybody hating you, or not even everybody, just like some people
Just like
seem to
these six
dislike you.
people. Yeah. So I was gonna segue into that with the whole incel thing. Like I talked to David Clegg for a long time, like a couple
Oh,
months.
David Clegg. Oh man, that guy blast from
Yeah.
the past. Like the last time I heard of him was when when I think when Mad Cucks was streaming the Dick Show RPG, and like he's like a mini boss that you have to fight. Like,
Oh, doesn't he have like little lolly girls or
yeah,
something
yeah,
as
yeah.
like
Like
little
his backup
mini?
like minions are like these like anime lollies, and then like when you kill them, like he gets sad, and then like after you
Oh
beat up Clegg,
no,
he's
yeah.
like, oh, thanks for showing everybody what a huge pussy you are.
Oh yeah, because you play his dick. I
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah,
Yeah.
you play his dick.
Oh man. Yeah, I
Um,
tried to hang out with that kid, man, just because my the whole idea was like, if he just has like all he I know that he hangs out with is like weird 8chan pedophile people. So like I was like, this is some incel guy that maybe we can help him out, right? Like we
you
can.
were trying to be like the Scooby to his, I guess, people who watch Scooby on YouTube. Like like
Oh, I don't
his
know what
target.
that is. Yeah.
He's this like bodybuilder who's trying to like his main goal is to help young people who are socially awkward or maybe not popular or maybe lack confidence or something like that. Try to improve their life through bodybuilding, and
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was certainly not trying to get him to bodybuilding. I am
but
certainly not
just
trying to
trying to
better
like
myself.
steer
But
him in the
yeah,
right direction, kind of. You know
yeah.
what I
I was
mean?
just
Like,
trying to. Yeah, the whole thing was just like, hey, maybe if he has some friends that aren't weird 8chan pedophile people, who set up these weird things where they like mentor 14-year-old girls, mentor them. I have no idea what that leads to,
oh
but
man, that sounds like the whole
fucking
Lana Rain thing that happened.
it's
We
so
can talk
weird.
about that
Oh,
later.
I need
Yeah.
to talk about that with you because I'm making a video about her this week. But
Oh,
the
nice, nice. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
All right, yeah.
but fucking like the whole idea was like, okay, so if he has like some regular friends who do regular things, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe he'll start to see like, maybe these 8chan guys aren't so cool. Maybe I don't need to act like this no more.
yeah.
Maybe I don't need to have these weird ideas. It didn't work, so
Hmm.
I kind of just stopped talking to him, and so that awarded me these people. That's not even why they're mad though. The
Oh,
whole thing started when they went. Gabe Abraham sandwich.
Yeah, Ouroboros. I think that's his thing,
Yeah,
right?
he's Ouroboros for
He's
some
trying to get
reason, and
that global saturation going.
yeah, he's that he I don't remember what started. There's this whole 3 hour audio thing that we were all talking on
Yeah.
somewhere on the internet. I think
He
Gabe
gets
knows where
mad a
it's at.
lot actually. You should see him like when I try doing streaming on Twitch and like I just name the characters after people in the Discord, and then he's like, "Oh great, thanks for putting me in here. I'm gonna fucking die now because I'm playing something like XCOM where everybody dies." So
Oh
like,
yeah, he's real upset. But something happened between him and L Pup from TDS subreddit,
okay,
who is
uh,
also known as Ben Garrison. Did nothing wrong on
okay,
Discord.
okay, yeah, I know Ben Garrison did nothing wrong. Well, at least I've seen
Yeah,
it. Like, yeah, I think he might
you've probably
also
yeah.
be on some other thing, maybe the IRC or something like that. I don't know.
He might. I know he's like L Pup on Reddit, but I don't know what other aliases he might be using.
Okay.
Anyway, they didn't like each other. They went after each other, and there was this recording that was recorded without Gabe's knowledge, and it was like tailored up with all these like annotations to make it look like Gabe was like a big asshole. Nobody believed it. Nobody cared.
Uh huh.
Uh, but I talked to the guy Kim Jong Skill who used to do the what you call it, the fucking transcripts for Dick Show. I
Mm-hmm.
talked to him because he posted it, and I was like, "Look, man, why did you post this? Like, what are you hoping to do? Like, it just seems like you kind of really hate Gabe."
Okay.
And he was like, "Oh, like if you ever heard this guy talk on voice, he actually sounds like this too." He was like, "I don't actually hate Gabe. It's just a joke. It's just fun stuff, you know." And I was like,
Okay.
"No, it's not fun stuff, dude. Like this is always the thing they run to is like we're just joking, man. It's just a joke." But
Yeah.
like they kept going after him, and finally like I cornered him enough to where he said oh well we'll get, you know, Ben, it was Ben's idea. Ben wanted to do this in the first place. I didn't even really want to do it. He just sent I sent him this audio and he said, "Oh, this could ruin Gabe."
Wait, but
And
why does he talk with like this like he's that character from the Boondocks who like basically is a child molester, but you know it's not explicitly stated that way, but he's kind of grooming Riley to commit crimes in the neighborhood and stuff like that.
I have no idea why he talks like that. I think that's his real voice.
Oh, okay. So
Sadly, I think that's his real voice. I'm
I
not going to make
okay,
fun of a
I
retarded
disavow
person.
everything I just said.
Yeah.
I take it all back. It's I didn't
I
mean it.
don't like I'm not like putting that on to like push it up. Like get the guy in voice and talk to him one day. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh,
But
okay.
fucking like this
All
went
right.
on.
I'm not trying to disparage anybody.
Yeah,
you know
no,
that's
yeah. This went on forever, and eventually we all sat down and talked. Like, hey, what's going on? Why are you guys constantly doing this? They, you know, they worked it out. I thought like it was basically a misunderstanding due to a miscommunication
yeah.
about some of the stuff they were wanting to run like a game night thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Game night comes up a lot. It's always like, is game
yeah,
night an actual like like some kind of like multiplayer game thing, or is it code for something else?
it's just well, I'll get to that in just a second.
Okay.
They started wanting to have hold a game. They held this forever on their own, like with other people on Steam, I guess, for a while. But eventually, they wanted to bring it to the Discord, the fan Discord, not the one for the Patreon. They wanted to
The
bring it to that one,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they were like, "Yeah, just like, can we have mod status here and do this stuff so we can set up game nights?" And we were like, "Yeah, sure, have it." And they I don't know, they it looked like they were never posting announcements, so I guess Gabe thought like, well, they're not doing what they said they were going to do, and there's only been like one game. But turns out they would post an announcement and then delete it,
Mm-hmm.
and then because they their idea was the only thing that should be in announcements is what's current, which, you know, fine, that's I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, that can
But
make sense. Yeah.
the thing that threw everybody else off though was that nobody else was doing this who was hosting stuff. So
Wait.
it just looked like they had only posted one thing. They didn't really tell anybody that's what they were going to do. Uh, so Ben and Gabe got into it one day, and Gabe removed his mod status, and that was basically why Ben didn't like Gabe, and everybody else in that Discord server, you know, just joins in whatever Ben wants to do.
Oh, okay.
Um, so one night they were in my Discord, and I said I jumped in just to listen to what they were talking about, and I basically stepped in and was like, Ben and Kim, it is very obvious you guys actually have a problem with Gabe. Like, I don't see how anybody would believe an argument that you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Kim showed me the fucking IM that you sent him that said we need to do this because it could ruin Gabe. like it's very obvious that there's some kind of grudge there, right? Like
Was
however
this done
petty.
in like a DM, or did they have like a private Discord, like a gay ops type of thing where
Uh, well, that particular one was in like a DM that Kim
okay.
showed me. But they do have kind of a gay ops Discord. It's not private.
Oh man, gay
Uh,
ops is like the funniest thing ever though.
yeah, their gay ops is the game night Discord server that they made because they weren't cool with like how we were letting them run stuff or
Wait,
whatever.
so
I don't
you
even.
didn't make a game night server? It was someone else who made a game night server,
Yeah,
and
it was Ben
and
Gives.
this was
Ben did
this was
nothing.
the so-called like hookers and blow server or something. I don't know.
Blackjack and hookers, I think, is
Oh,
what
okay,
you're
blackjack and
looking
hooker.
for.
Okay, it was something to do with
Yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah.
they
Okay,
they made their own thing. I was in it for a while. I was like, well, I guess they didn't want to run it like they were running it in the Discord, so they're just going to do their own thing now, which is
okay.
whatever. But as soon as I stepped in and said I didn't even say you guys are assholes, you're liars, you're fucking pussies. I didn't say any of that stuff, even though it's true. I
Uh huh.
didn't say it, but I just said it is very obvious that you have a very real problem with Gabe.
Okay.
And then I said, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about it. I've
Mhm.
got to fucking get out of here. I've got shit I got to do. So
Yeah.
I'm going to leave. So I left and I went to the gym and did the rest of my shit for that night.
Okay.
I come back home and I have 20 notifications on Discord.
Oh, okay.
And I go, wow, what's this? No
Yeah, I
items. Where's
usually
all
have
this coming
around
from?
3,000,
Yeah.
because I just join random servers and like never check it, and like they just accumulate like it's like
Yeah.
a XP farming for a game that I don't play. So yeah,
Yeah, that never actually stacks. Yeah,
yeah.
but I see. I don't join random ones. Like I don't. I don't have. I don't normally have 20 notifications unless I have like a client trying to send me information or something.
Oh,
But
okay.
fucking, I get 20 and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I go and I look, and it's all from the game night Discord, the gay
Hmm.
ops one that they. And I was like, what the fuck is all this shit? And like they have a channel in there called LolCow where it's basically them for the last 6 months. They've done nothing but try to track me and Gabe's every move and talk about it. And they have another thing called like Hazen shit talk or something. I don't know. But I was just like, what are these notifications? I go and look through them all. They're almost all Ben, and he's tagging me in like 20 different things. Wow, at Hazencruz is white knighting so hard for Gabe right now, guys. Wow, they must suck each other's dicks, like all this weird shit. And I'm just like,
Okay.
okay, I don't want to be part of this, so I just left their Discord. And there's stuff in there about like, oh, you said you were going to the gym, but I see you're still online on Discord. Apparently, it just never went to the away status or something. I was on my phone while I was on the treadmill.
Well, what I
But
do is I have Discord open on multiple devices. Like I have my computer that is running like basically all day. Like it has a Discord running on there, and then I have Discord on my phone. And the one that we're doing right now for this recording is like another like it's a laptop that I use like the one that I carry around with me. So I mean, as far as
yeah,
I assume that it always says that I'm available, but I guess it just somehow adjusts randomly. But I never like
I don't.
AOL
Yeah, I
Instant
never.
Messenger back in that day. What I would do is I wouldn't really put up away messages because I just have an idle message, and that would automatically kick in after a certain amount of time or something like that. So I don't know. It's just
Yeah, and I think Discord's similar. I think like if you don't touch it or whatever for a while, it's supposed to say away, but it doesn't seem like it always does that. I don't know.
yeah.
I never look at my own thing. I never have the opportunity to look
I
at it, so
found
I don't
some
know
some
if it ever
Reddits
shows away.
from Discord from like that was on like linked to Reddit. They have Salty Dash Gaming and Cyberstorm Gaming. Um,
What is Cyberstorm Gaming? That sounds great.
oh yeah, let's see if we can get in. Hold on, let me see if we can get in there, and then we'll transfer and just stream the rest of the episode from this random server. And yeah,
I can't wait for somebody to barge in on all this weird drama shit.
oh yeah, it's
I
gonna be
wish this
great.
was more interesting. I wish it was more of an interesting story like they would like for you to believe it is, but um it's basically just they don't like me and they they want me to sit
Oh,
and
it's
have like a
expired.
meltdown. You
It
remember
expired,
were you
man.
around oh the invite inspired fuck.
Yeah, what about let me try a Poots Discord server or no, let me try
Poots.
gamers. Like the description is in German though, so I don't know if that's gonna affect it. But um,
Oh, I don't know what that means in German. Scared to ask.
I don't know. Let's see. Oh man, is this just like a catalog of expired Discord links? Because apparently that's what they linked in the Reddit. I don't know. It's just weird.
I'm trying to think of like a really. Does the r/Nintendo one
It's
have?
like you're trying to find an expendable Discord that you can
I'm
just
trying. Yeah, I'm trying to find like what's the thing I would never be part of. Yeah.
um
I don't know.
hold on, let me see here. We got no, because I left most of the discords that I were on recently because I was getting DMs from bots and stuff, so that's why I started actually leaving.
Why were bots DMing you?
It's basically these discords have partnerships with other Discord servers, and then they try to like shill
Shill
their
them to you?
server. Yeah,
Oh
saying like,
my
oh, join these
god!
cool
What?
servers, and then like as if it matters because it's like what's the actual point if like some random jack off joins and then doesn't do anything, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. What the
Let's
jack
see.
off Jilly Discord shill bots?
Yeah, yeah.
I would leave any Discord or block that bot immediately. Like that is fucking stupid.
No, but they keep on having more, and I think it's possibly due to the fact that I was trying to hit the Discord limit and say like, oh, how many servers can I join? And I think the limit is 100, but I want to see if I could actually hit it. But then, okay, what about the chill zone? The chill zone, I think, is probably active. You wanna? Is that a Discord thing that you value or?
I don't know what chill zone is, so I guess not. I can always plead for forgiveness.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, let me see if this invite works. If it
What
doesn't
is
work,
that?
then
Some kind of like,
nah, it
is that
didn't
like a
work.
TV show? Chill zone?
The chill zone. I don't know. I think it's this is actually one of the random discords that I had joined in the past, but I left because it was one of the things that have bots. So the Discord
Fuck it, yeah.
the
We go on
invite
that
that
one.
was listed um was expired. So that's not really helping us here. The chill zone group. Yeah.
So when
Anyway,
someone
so
joins, do you know what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is? Do you know
yeah,
anything
I
about
know what
that?
that is. I haven't watched it,
Yeah.
but I know about it.
So can when people join and if they start really like pressing us for information, can we just both at the same time start going "Wuna, wuna, 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 wuna," like
Yeah,
just
we
yell that like at the same time?
Yeah, yeah. If you start doing that, I'll do it too. Okay, okay, I got in. I got into the chill zone. All right, I'm going to
Oh
invite
hell
you. Hold on a
yeah!
second. All right, I'm just gonna post it in the chat right now. Hold on a second.
I'm gonna have a sip of this water.
All right, yeah, the chill zone. And then let's see if they have a voice. Hold on a second.
Entering the
Oh
chill
wait, hold on a
zone.
second.
They just have
Loading.
a welcome,
Yeah,
and
hold on a second. What's going
I'm
on
not
here?
allowed to see the history. This chill zone doesn't seem very chill.
Oh, it's probably one of those discords that have like a you have to react to the welcome message in order to get a role that allows you to see things.
I can't even see the welcome message.
Yeah, it's not even showing the welcome message for me either. So it's not just me then, right?
Oh wait, here we go.
Wait, it's showing? Hold on a
Click
second.
the icon. You got to click act. You actually have to click welcome. It
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't
that's
start
something that's
you.
common among these kind of servers that have a lot of shills. That they have it's not loading the messages. I think that might be because I'm in streaming mode. I don't know if that's what it is. Hold on. Oh, wait.
Well,
No, no. I just
I
clicked on the
actually
welcome
had to
again.
click. Yeah, I had to actually click welcome. It didn't start me there, but it has like a message. You react to it, and then you're
Yeah,
able
yeah.
to
React to it, and
come in.
let's look for the
Wow,
voice.
this is not chill. This is a lot of
Okay, so some of
stuff.
the voice rooms are locked. You can't just join it. Huh? You want to join one that has people in it and just start continuing telling your story. Like, hold on. Let's see if we can join room number one. If we
Oh,
can.
okay. So you can join voice 3. I think I just joined it, even though it says it's locked.
Oh, okay. Let me try to join voice three. Hello.
Oh, here we
Okay.
are. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I see you. All right, you're here. Yeah,
All right, here we
we'll
are.
just squat in room three, and then if someone joins in, then they'll be it. Unless you actually want to actively go into another room that has people in it, and then just like,
How's it
Let's
going,
just do house
bros?
first.
yeah, that's cool. We're
Hey,
just
what's
telling the
up? How
story
you
right
doing?
now. Yeah, just
I didn't know
getting.
they sold bottles of flex tape.
Here, I'll show you a picture.
Yeah, post it in
I
the
can't
chat.
wait to see a picture
Yeah.
of a bottle of flex tape.
Wait, where is the picture gonna show up
What
though?
chat? Yeah,
Oh, there's so many chats in here. Like,
there's a lot of rooms.
yeah. Under Pokemon, that thing lit up. Let's check Pokemon. Hold on, what we got here? Oh,
I
okay.
don't.
You got a spring hippo or something. That's cool. All right, yeah, that's cool. Anyways, yeah, let's continue the story. You had the you had the gay ops server, and then you had like the other guy, and they were really just trying to say that the two of you were white knighting each other too much, and
Oh
that
yeah,
means
yeah,
that
yeah.
you're
Yeah, they kept doing that, and I was just like, yeah, I don't have time for this, so I just ignored it. Cause like, honestly, like I shit around a lot on the internet, right? But I have stuff to do. I don't have time for this. And they then began following me everywhere,
Uh-huh.
I
and
sent both
like,
of you guys a pic.
Oh, okay, thank
say
you.
what?
She
Oh,
she
thanks, man.
DM'd the picture of the flex tape. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Let me have a look at this first, real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, that there really is a pile. Okay, that is real then. That is quite a surprise. But anyway, yeah, they follow me around everywhere and just at me everywhere. So eventually, I just like blocked them all, so I didn't have to deal with like mentions like every 2 seconds every time I'm anywhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
Uh,
usually what people do, right? Like, if
yeah,
something's
it
that was the
was
whole point of the internet in terms of like of blocking. That was like you didn't have to have all this Patreon nonsense because you could just block people. But apparently that didn't work.
yes. The craziest thing was like they kept escalating this, right? And I just kept ignoring them. They kept
Oh,
escalating this thing. It was like, oh well,
a one-sided
did you
Cold War right
guys
here.
did you
Yeah.
guys know that Hazencruz really Hazencruz is Gabe's boyfriend and like this stuff? It's like, okay, cool. No one cared, and then that didn't work. They didn't get the reaction they wanted from that. So then they started going around telling everybody to join their game night Discord. Like it just kept going up and up until we got to where there were several things that aren't that interesting. But then
Yeah.
they
So,
started.
do you want to dispel some of those rumors right now? Like, say like you're not actually the Zodiac killer, or you're not Canadian, or
Well,
anything
I
like that.
am the Zodiac killer. That's not a rumor.
And you're
That's
Canadian too, right?
yeah. That those two things are demonstrably true.
Oh, okay.
But uh, they started saying that like it was like maybe 3 or 4 months ago. I told everybody about that weird fan fiction thing I wrote.
Yeah, because you did that like as a joke, right? Like it's
Yeah, like the whole point of this thing was there's those fan fictions out there, right? Like My Immortal stuff like that.
yeah, My Immortal. Like
Like
some people
okay,
are
so when
speculating that that person might have been a troll because it was just too
right,
too
because
much,
it's so stupid, right? It's so retarded. Like
Yeah.
if you write something that way, people will immediately dismiss it as that. I wanted to write something that sounded like it really had effort into it and inadvertently ended up putting some effort into it.
Well, some
Uh,
people well, I mean, a lot of people do like
Yo, bottle,
readings
bottle, bottle, bottle.
You
readings of
what's
that.
up?
Can oh yeah, no man, he came in here. What do you? Hold up.
What?
Jenna just snapped me. I mean,
Okay. So
What?
Jenna
Snap.
snapped you, bro.
I'm
Jenna
kidding. I'm
snapped you.
kidding. She doesn't have snap. Bro.
Yeah. She doesn't have snap, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, I have his snap, bro. I have his.
Hey, could you let them finish the story, please?
yeah, I'm just
You
gonna
were
lower the
telling a
volume a
really
little bit because they're a little bit too loud. So I'm just gonna
we're
lower.
telling a
Um,
super interesting
okay,
story.
okay,
You
I'm
guys
sorry.
wanna hear it?
I apologize.
That's okay. That's all right, buddy. Fucking, but yeah, they just follow me around.
Bro, what is your profile pic?
Profile
Which one?
pic is a guy. Yeah.
Yo, Patrick, bro, can you stop like talking to me? Shit, dude. Let me think about that, okay?
Welcome to the chill zone.
Yeah,
Bro, don't
this is the chill zone
like,
right here. This
this
is what we
Patrick
this is
guy,
what we do
bro,
here at
like-
the chill zone.
This Patrick guy is a simp, bro. Like, don't.
Bro, this Fluxer guy, he's an idiot, bro. He's a dang ashy slave, bro.
I just want to hear them finish their story, please.
Yeah, I promise you guys it's a really interesting story.
Okay,
You're
okay.
Yeah.
gonna
Can
be
we start from the start? Can
you're gonna be
can
really
start from the start,
captivated,
bro?
buddy. Okay.
Can we start the
So-
story again, bro?
Here's the story, right? These guys, like 4 months
Okay.
ago, I report this, right? I'm like, yeah, hey, I did this thing. Antoid's actually found it. I didn't even.
Oh.
I thought it was gone forever, but he found it. He dug it up in the way back.
Is
machine or
Antoine
whatever.
still the one who also found like the cut together all of like the edits? Is that what he did? Was that
Yeah,
him?
he found like multiple edits of this thing. I was like, damn, I thought this thing was gone, nigga. Like it's here. He's found all of it. And so I do that, and then like a month after that, they all start posting stuff everywhere on Reddit, Facebook, everything. Like, did you know Hazencruz wrote this My Little Pony fan fiction? Did you know? And like everybody was like, okay, cool, dude. He's like, that's not like news.
Like,
Everybody
no one
knows
cares.
that happened.
I wrote a Harry Potter fan fiction that was
like
also...
people think it's funny, yeah, but everybody knew about it.
Yeah, I mean, my
then-
Harry Potter fan fiction was basically just shitting on J.K. Rowling's like knowledge of history and stuff. So like essentially, it was covering the reason why the wizards are in hiding because her explanation was always like not believable at all. Is that they didn't want to be bothered by the Muggles asking them to help them with their problems and stuff, but. That's not the reason why people go into hiding. People go into hiding because they lose some kind of a war or something like that. So I'm
Right,
like, there was
yeah.
probably a war where like
that
the
the
wizards
story,
got their
bro?
asses kicked, like by the Muggles because they don't have guns and they don't have planes and tanks and stuff. So
Yeah, they probably would lose that fight.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
yeah,
cool.
World War One
Okay.
at the latest, like World War One at the latest, they would have like already been crushed. So yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think
never thought of it that way. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, anyway, they didn't get the result. They didn't get the reaction they wanted, right? And I kept saying that every time they do something like this. I'm like, I'm sorry you guys aren't getting the reaction that you want.
Yeah,
But they
Oh, I
fucking
see.
would
Is it,
come
bro?
out, just keep going, farther and farther
Maybe you should stop dating.
till eventually like
It
they
might help
started
her.
getting to the point where they were like, hey, did you guys know that Hazencruz had a conversation with Clegg? Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's a pedophile. Do you think maybe he might be?
because you talk to
That's a pretty cool
Clegg
story.
basically.
Yeah, everybody who they bombard you with like 100 pages of shit. It's like a cell phone contract. They know nobody's gonna read through all that. So they're
Yeah.
like, well, here's the evidence, and they're hoping people will just read the headline and go, oh, well, it must be true. They have 100 screenshots. They must be for real. And
Yeah.
people like Waterboy actually go through these things, and they said, yeah, that doesn't seem like that's what's happening. So now they hate Waterboy.
Oh, they hate Waterboy too.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, dude, apparently they're talking shit about you in that server, so maybe you
Wait,
need to go over
isn't
there.
Waterboy also like one of the guys who does the Maddox leaks too? Like,
Yeah.
like yeah, that makes him like he's a top artist. You can't you're not gonna pull one over on him. Like,
Yeah, I'm sorry if you guys are trying to target Waterboy with this shit next. Like, not only are you probably not gonna find anything interesting, but like that you can use for ammo. He's made some good music.
yeah,
But you're probably not like no one in the Dick Show is gonna like you if you just go after fucking Waterboy. Everybody loves that guy.
yeah.
He's one of the
He's
nicest
the guy with the
people
birds,
ever.
right? Like,
Yeah, he's the guy with well, he had all the birds. I don't think he lives in that house anymore.
well, yeah. I mean, like if people disliked him, they would just send him a bunch of birds. But no one's doing that, so obviously they must like him.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, why else would they not send him birds?
Yeah. So yeah, Waterboy's pretty cool. His song, he made the theme song. I tried to remix it to make like the slammed version where you mix it with the Quad City DJ song, but it was a little too difficult for me. I was not up to the proper skill level to make it happen.
Oh
with
yeah,
the, Audacity.
it does. That's the thing about those meme songs like that. They actually do take a lot of work,
Yeah.
and people don't realize that. Like it's a massive undertaking to make something even that silly.
Yeah, it's like the part where it goes ready, go, and then the guy's like, get up and slam. I tried to make it go like that, but it wouldn't sync up like just right. I have to change the tempo and then of some parts of it in order for it to fit, which would just make it
Yeah.
weird. And it's like,
You
yeah,
you almost need source files for some of that shit too. Like it's really hard to do it without that.
no, I just like ripped an MP3 from YouTube, and then yeah, that's basically what I was
Yeah.
doing.
Well, I mean, like the sources he actually used to make the songs, like that guy who says "ready," all the radars are ready or whatever. Like
Uh,
you almost like to make stuff really sound good, you almost need that, but sometimes you don't. But yeah, basically, the reason I haven't talked about this on like the Dick Show or anything. Dick wanted me to call in. First of all, I work on Sundays. Well,
Yeah.
I don't anymore now for now.
Oh.
But second of all, even if I didn't work on Sundays, I don't want this to end yet. Like I want to see how crazy these people will get.
you got to milk
I
it
wanna
like some
I
more.
want-
And, like,
Yeah, well, number one, I'm actually interested to see how far they'll go with this, and then number two, I want everybody to see just how insane these people will get until they fucking like just have like some kind of nuclear meltdown, and then everybody will see that and everybody will know exactly what they're doing.
oh, okay. I mean, that's actually pretty interesting. It's almost like you have your own like Chris, well, a group of Chris's, I guess.
My own
almost.
Chris, my own Maddox, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
my own
Were
crowd.
you in the server? No, you were in the server. Because I was there. I was just listening to what everybody was saying in that server that that they made, and they were talking about Chris, and then getting him to say a lot of things about Aboriginal people from Australia or New Zealand.
Oh yeah,
And-
oh my god.
And I'm like, I could kind of see it. Like, I'm like, okay, they're not like outright encouraging him to. I mean, they kind of are, but oh man, like the whole thing, I was just like, oh man, this is not gonna look good at all. Like I could tell, like right from the beginning, and
Yeah, that he's out there, man. He's like Terry A. Davis minus the genius or the funny.
oh man, Terry A. Davis, that guy
Yeah.
was interesting, very
yeah,
interesting guy.
It's interesting to me how when you like all you have to do on the internet is get like a little bit known in like one community. And like sometimes that's enough fame for you to already have your own like hate mob.
You know what I found is like the dick community is almost like a parallel, like it's like his fan group whatever, but then it's also a lot of overlap with everything else because like the Ricada community is basically a subset of the dick community at this point.
But it's
And
kind of growing to be its own thing too.
yeah, it is because then now he's tangentially like kind of merging with the anime outsiders because he started doing like the weeb streams and on then like all this other stuff. So it's this like, weird amalgamation thing where you have a lot of like tangential points of contact between these different groups of people on the internet, and I don't know how that's gonna go. It seems very interesting because I'm encountering a lot of the same people in a lot of these different places. I assume mainly because they find it the same way I do. But yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch them grow and stuff. And like I think all the Comicsgate people hate Nick. Like
The
I've seen
anti-Comicsgate or whatever.
oh yeah, Comicsgate is like it's like Gamergate. It's like
Yeah.
they are the people who are trying to like kind of
change
change
the system or
the
whatever.
industry or get away from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the anti Comicsgate people, I've seen them just be like, "Oh, Nick is an alcoholic, and I feel so bad for his kids." Like just anything. It's just like this shit. Like any little thing they can try to blow up on to discredit someone just because they don't fucking like them.
The thing I love about Nick though is like he's basically immune because of how remote he is. Because he said like they can give me all the bad reviews on Yelp they want because that's not how I get my clients. So it's like he's kind of immune to that job lynch mob.
Who looks at Yelp to find legal counsel?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I usually
it's not a restaurant, you fucking idiots.
Well, I guess Ricada Law is just poorly reviewed. Don't be going over there
No,
for your
Yeah, what I'm saying is that's never going to hurt him. He's a fucking lawyer.
Yeah, but even still, in general, he's not using the internet as his means of commerce outside of YouTube. So,
Yeah.
so he's immune. Even if they got the right website, like the law version or whatever, like LegalZoom, or I don't think that's even the same thing. But whatever rating system they have, because I know like they have ZocDoc for rating doctors. They probably have one for lawyers too, and I could give him a bad rating on there, but he gets his clients through word of mouth in his small town, so that's really all that matters there.
Yeah, it's a bunch of boomers that just talk to each other. Like that's how that happens.
Yeah. Speaking of lawyers, I mentioned it to you before the stream started, but that was this idea because we were talking about incels, we're talking about those thoughts and all that stuff. The thought audit was happening recently, and that was pretty funny. But one of the things that we need to talk about is how can we get this integrated into the prison systems where we have you have those Findom people, but they have the same thing in prisons, but with the cigarettes because they can't have money in there. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, the reason they use cigarettes is because I think it's like something like they're not allowed to have money in jail or something like that. So instead they use cigarettes as a currency. That's like their cryptocurrency. They've been doing it for before the internet. So that's how they were doing it. I've seen the movie, or I've seen part of the movie Brewbreaker, where it's like this guy who was the prison warden who infiltrated the prison as a prisoner just to see what the conditions are before he took up his post as like the boss, and like everything was like really messed up back then. So I think that they need to do that again with like another warden needs to do that again because they need to find out like if they're doing this kind of like similar Findom system with the cigarettes and smoke it out because that's because they don't tax they also don't tax cigarettes in prisons, I think. So there's also that
What?
too.
Why don't they?
Because it's not like an actual it's not actual currency, right? So even though they're moving to
but
regulate they're moving to regulate
initi-
cryptocurrency, but they're not regulating the cigarettes they use in the prisons. So
Oh my god, regulate cryptocurrency. Go fuck yourselves.
you know what's kind of annoying about crypto is that I can't really find a way to use it anonymously reliably. It's like you have to either go through some shady channels using gift cards and stuff, or you gotta register your bank account and address and all this other nonsense on Coinbase or something like that.
The easiest thing I've found to do is to find if you're somewhere where this is available. Almost any business can set up a Liberty X vendor account. You can buy coins for people or for yourself with that, and just send them to whatever Bitcoin address you want, just cash. You have to. I think you have to send them a picture of your photo ID or whatever. But
You have to show
like,
them a picture of your dick and like give
yeah,
them
you gotta
five
send them a dick
cigarettes
pic.
and like honestly, yeah, that's basically how it goes now. Like everybody's talking about how awesome it is that it's anonymous, but then when I look at it, like any practical implementation of it, it's like not really anonymous.
Yeah, because I mean, they can always trace. I guess I don't know. Maybe not. They can always see what you have purchased at least.
Well, or where you're sending the Bitcoin to, right? Like, if they have your address, then they can just find out what the other address or something like
I
that.
guess yeah, they could do that. I guess potentially you could send it to like a bunch of different addresses, but it would take a long time and it would cost a lot of money and transaction fees to do
Yeah,
that.
like I know Monero is supposedly like something that's more private, but still, I think you need to expose your bank account at some point. But yeah, so you had that. I don't know how lucrative it was. So but yeah, that was the situation with that. I was thinking about like trying to start up a website that was like a crypto version of Patreon, but then really what it would end up being is just an address book for your addresses of where your crypto is. So
Yeah, it's not
then
like you could really do like a transaction thing with that.
yeah, but the way you would work is you would have like a you'd have to have like an open source version of the vendor of something that the vendor would implement on their website. So instead of it being a website that you go to pay the like for example, let's say you're subscribing to Dick, right? You're going to subscribe to Dick, whatever $5 worth of Bitcoin every month, and then he would give you the reward in exchange for it. Instead of going to Patreon and then pledging to Dick, you would go to Dick.show, and then he would have like this address or whatever that you would like that you would put like your Bitcoin address or whatever, and then he would run some kind of script just to check the my website, which has your email address that you have linked with your Bitcoin address, and then that will be where his bot will send the paywalled content to, something like
Okay.
that.
I see what you're saying. It's just basically like to organize and simplify like how to send the rewards more than anything.
Yeah, yeah, and that portion
That's
would
actually a
be
good idea, I think.
that
Yeah.
portion would be open source, and then I don't know. I'm working on the website, and then I'm like, I don't know shit about web design, so it's taking forever. And then if you look at our business boys website, you can see that there's a lot of interesting stuff over there. We have like a lot of inspirational quotes and inspirational stock images that we got for free on the internet, and it's a very nice website. But when it comes to implementing things there, like, but yeah, this is gonna be a project that we release eventually, and then that would basically be the whole thing. It would be half open source, and then like half is just us hosting a directory or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea to me. I think that would, I mean, nobody could get banned from that, right? Like
Well,
for,
they could get banned from the address directory, so then basically you could get banned from being a person who wants to subscribe to someone who uses this system.
yeah, you could, but you wouldn't get banned for like, oh, I said a no word on this website or
Well, like
something
for
like,
example, like I could ban Dick, right? That means that Dick can't subscribe to anyone. He can't subscribe to Asterios or anybody else, but people could still subscribe to him because that portion is open source. I don't control his website. That's not something I have any leverage over.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it could be a system like that. Unless, of course, they ban Coinbase, which is probably how I would have to implement this. So
Oh, Coinbase is shit, dude. Like if you're relying on Coinbase, like you got to find something else, some other way to do this.
yeah, I basically just need to find a vendor, and then pair it with our website, and then that's how we're gonna go, and then that's
You
the
should
plan.
try, yeah, you should try either Liberty X or local Bitcoins.
Local bitcoins might be the way to go
Yeah.
actually, because I was looking into that earlier today, and our guy who our guy who's a big basketball fan, he just said that he mentioned that as well, but he uses Coinbase for the main portion of his stuff, so you know.
He's had a better experience with it than me. I bought back when Bitcoin was kind of around like 2000.
Yeah.
I bought like I don't know how much. It was like $400 worth of Bitcoin, and then when it got up to like 6 or 7K, I tried to sell it all. It took me 2 months to sell it, and by the time it got sold, it was down to like 44, 4.5K, something like that.
So the
Um,
clearing of that sale was what took so long. It was just
Well, yeah, I guess I don't know. Like they just said that like there's no warning, and it just sold. I was like, okay, we're gonna sell it, and we'll get back with you as soon as it's sold. And I was like, okay, that should take like what 15 minutes. And then
yeah.
like, the whole night went by, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I contact customer service. I get an answer from customer service after the shit actually processes, like 2 months down the road, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh yes, it can take a month or more to process some transactions to a bank account.
Oh.
Oh, it can? Oh, thanks for letting me know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
They
sounds
may
like
be different now. I don't know. That was years ago, but
that was like when it was still newer. Yeah. So a lot of things going on in terms of the world today, and like we have like the U.S. pulling out of Syria allegedly or something like that. But I was thinking more about like because this theme is like rehabilitating incels, and one of the things that I was thinking about doing was if you had seen, I don't know if you follow Josh, Null, Kiwi Farms guy.
I know who he is. I've seen some of his videos.
Yeah, so his most recent video was the Allison rap video, and apparently she was doing like the online thought thing, and she was monetizing her nudes or whatnot. But then she was I guess hitting a wall or something, so that she was losing the amount of income that she was getting. It was like steadily going down, so she eventually had to like retire from the online thought
Oh,
industry,
that's
right?
probably devastating mentally for a woman.
So I don't know. I was thinking that one thing that you could do is we could have this. It would be like a horrorcore where it's like kind of like a branch of the military that basically trains professional horrors. So like when these people get washed out of this like private industry, they can go here, and then we can allocate these folks to the incels who need to get rehabilitated. You know what I mean?
You know what? I think that's a great idea. And these liberals are always talking about how, oh, anything is worth less school shootings, less dead kids. They always, like to stand on the graves of dead kids for their cause.
Oh,
Here's a good one. Here's a good one, lefties. Okay, we can at once legalize prostitution, regulate it, and also stop school shootings with this. I
yeah,
think.
that's a
I
great
think this
idea.
will work.
Yeah, because we've always had this like this whole gun control issue where we're talking about like regulating guns and all that stuff, but it's always pointed at the wrong direction, right? It has to be pointed at the government. Before we talk about disarming the populace in general, we have to talk about disarming the police, the politicians, and the military, right? So once they no longer have any weapons, then we can talk about the average Joe, because really that's how it's supposed to go. But they're always skipping that vital first step and trying to get to the end point, which is when you skip steps, you can make a lot of mistakes there, and that's a big issue.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like
So we
there's
got
kinks to work out, sure.
yeah.
There's
So this is one of the things that we can work on. You got the horrorcore, and like that's like going to be stopping these incels or pre-shooters or whatever you want to call them. And then what else we got here? Yeah, I was talking about that. Another option is like this whole like HRT thing, because they're also really big on HRT, like the people who want to push that as the solution for everything. Um, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I
sorry.
guess. I don't some of these people were probably in the traps. Randy Stair,
Oh, okay.
he swore he wasn't gay, but he was, wearing women's clothes and shit all the time. I don't know,
Oh,
maybe he
okay.
could become part of the horrorcore or something.
Yeah. All right, I actually have to shift my computer a little bit. Um, the other people in the building are saying that I'm being too loud. So
Uh,
here's the thing, right? Um, what I was thinking is like when we look at war, like how it usually works is like when like the invaders come and they invade and like they kill everybody and capture everybody, and then like they try to steal like the women from the people who are conquered and all that stuff, which is a bit barbaric, right?
right,
Now,
yeah.
then that leads to a problem of like that leads to like a very incel like problem among this conquered people, right? So I think instead of doing that, what they should
Fact.
do is they should just impose like a
Nah, nah, nah. The guy in
30.
the other chat, excuse me, hold up. The guy in the other chat said he was making chicken brownies. What the fuck?
Oh,
I don't know what
okay.
that
You know
is.
what?
Yeah.
Scratch this idea, because I was going to talk about like the 30% HRT imposement on like a
No,
loser of a
no,
war,
no,
but chicken brownies might actually be a better solution.
No. You're gonna come with me to V1, and you're gonna tell him how disgusting he is.
Oh, okay.
We are.
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
No.
Okay,
So about
guys.
those chicken brownies,
So,
right?
yeah, we're talking about them. Well, we heard about these chicken brownies. Like, apparently, that they're brownies made out of chicken or chicken made out of brownies. I'm not sure which direction you're going with that one.
Right.
We need answers.
Yeah.
How did you even get, bro? What? Do you
Wait,
need a hug?
How will the chicken brownies stop this incel problem, the incel or pre-shooter problem that we were talking about in V3?
Exactly. You got nothing to say for yourself?
I am gay.
Okay. So,
Same.
wait, did he say he was gay?
He is gay. That makes more sense.
Okay. I mean, that's also a solution too. I think that like the less incels we have, probably the better, and that's
Yeah,
probably
I
one way
agree.
we can do it.
Bro, the less incels we have, the less
What?
computers we have.
What?
Ooh.
Oh, you said incel, not incel. Haha.
What?
What? He's making chicken brownies, bro. How do you feel about that?
I'm not making
Chicken
brownies, bro.
Oh shit,
Chicken-
Chaco, you making ramen?
No. He said chicken brownies, bro.
Oh.
All right, that was cool. I'm gonna go back to voice 3. All right, hold on a second. All right, yeah, that was very enlightening right there.
I'm glad we did that.
Yeah. I mean, we found out that one of them is gay. I mean, that's pretty cool.
And that there's possibly chicken brownies.
Yeah. I mean, I
don't know for
usually just
sure.
eat brownies like as a dessert after the chicken. That's usually my scenario.
Like a chicken and waffles kind of thing, but separated, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to the same place anyway. A lot of people
Chicken
like to say
or
that.
waffles, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, if it's something that the Wall Street Journal likes, then it's something that I like because we're a heavy supporter of the Wall Street Journal here on this channel.
Very reputable news source, yeah.
Yeah, a very reputable news source, and one of the reasons why we're trying to reform incels is because we've learned a lot from the Wall Street Journal. Like you can't make fun of them, right? You can't make fun of the school shooters like Elliot Rogers because that's what got Mumkey banned, right? He made fun of him, and that's a no-no. You have to
That's
be
true.
like the Wall Street Journal. You got to be super respectful and only talk about them seriously so that they have their memory intact in a respectable and I guess it's almost like building a meme statue to them in a sense, right? And that's the proper way to treat these people according to the Wall Street Journal, which we respect a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, the way you solve a problem is you don't acknowledge that there is a problem. You don't talk about it. You don't use comedy to explore something that you would otherwise be unable to explore in like a serious manner because it would be too controversial. You don't do any of that. You just ignore it, and then eventually people just stop running in schools and shooting people. That's history proves that.
Yeah, I think they've done that in the past. So, like the Wall Street Journal, I mean, they've been around for a while. They've been around longer than PewDiePie was a thing, right? And they proved to be better than him. So, that's why we have our image right here is the picture of the no PewDiePie and heart around Wall Street Journal because that's the message we want to give out to people.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. So at least I know the backstory now of like why some people are mad at you. It's kind of weird, but okay.
It is. I'm so scared. Like when people ask me about that, they're gonna think like there's this big like story behind it, and there are like more details, but they're so autistic and boring. Like, I'm sure they would love to give you more details if you want to have one of them on your show.
Yeah. What we could do is that we could have them on the show if they want to come on. I basically nobody really knows who we are, so our show is wholly dependent on finding people who have more internet relevance than us on our show and talk about stuff.
I'm flattered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on is because you have that GoTis series, which is pretty interesting. You offer some really good advice that they apparently don't take, so that puts you in league with a lot of economists because a lot of people like to ignore them. So
Yeah, I give this advice to people mainly that I know won't take it anyway because they're already more famous than me, or they're like I think the first episode. There's only 2 right now. I'm working on 3, which is gonna be Lana Rain. But
yeah, that's what we had to talk about because, like, apparently she was groomed or something, or like it seems like she may have been groomed. We can't make things that will be defamation
well,
ish.
what is the what is the alleged thing that was happening that makes this like a thing now, that this possibility?
It was like a blog post that someone made where they were showing these logs and things about like this guy who is in the fighting game community, and apparently the fighting game community is a whole nother basket of weirdos and whatnot.
Oh,
Because
I'll
like
bet.
like the GDC like or GDQ or whatever, like the
Oh,
speedrunning
man, yeah.
community.
I hate all those things, so I don't know a lot of details, but I know I know
Well,
what they are.
okay, so yeah, in the Dick Show Discord, they were talking about how it was just a meme that they had dilation stations. It wasn't actually a thing, but they may as well do it because of like how many like transgender people there are on there. Um, but the thing about the fighting game community is that they had a lot of like weird things with either people cheating or I don't know, some kind of shenanigans or something like that. And then this one guy was talking to Lana Rain when she was like underage or whatever. And then as soon as she turned 18, she moves to Brooklyn. She's originally from Canada, and then it just becomes like a cam girl. And then that's
You
how
can't
she
just
gets.
do that. Yeah, even Canadians have to have a fucking citizenship thing happen.
I don't know. No. I think Canadians can come to the U.S. Or I don't know if they. I don't think they require a visa for Canadians.
I don't think they require a visa to visit, but to live here, to own like or rent like a housing, I think you have to have some kind of a green card or visa or something. I
Oh,
think. I don't know that for sure, but I believe that's true.
okay. Well, I don't know. Somehow she just ran away from home and moved to Brooklyn, and like, and then
That's
on
where
her
this guy
website,
was.
on her website, she says that she basically left her house because her parents didn't like that she was doing what she was doing, and she apparently started camming when she was 18, like immediately when turning 18, which a lot of people found suspicious because it's like, well, like, why is she so eager to do it? It's a little bit strange. And then this
I
guy
guess.
who's in the fighting games community, which is already suspicious enough, he he apparently was the guy talking to her since she was 14, and then apparently he became like the biggest like supporter slash contributor slash promoter of her once she became like a cam girl, and then he
Oh, that
transitioned
yeah,
too
that
because like you can't have this without transitioning in there somewhere. So yeah, he
oh
apparently
god.
transitioned too.
What a maelstrom of misery. Like,
Well, I don't
you
know.
know that none of those people are happy with like Lana Rain's the only one that's probably happy with the decisions she's made because she's basically a fucking millionaire now. But like,
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's kind of a stereotype, don't you think, that like that people with autism are just always happy all the time? That's kind of
yeah,
stereotypical.
a little bit. Yeah, maybe I was wrong about that.
I mean, she says she has autism, and she kind of looks like she's spacing
I
out all the time. Um,
yeah, I like I'll go ahead and put it out there right now. I watched some of her videos.
yeah. Like I've seen your
Everybody's
videos.
seen them.
As
Yeah,
I was talking to you before, you like to watch these cosplay girls, and you watch them to respect women every night before bed because it helps you
right,
sleep at night.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when I'm doing this, when I'm about to lay down, I'm like, man, I haven't respected a woman today enough. I need to bring this up. Like I needed to pull up the video and give them some respect, right?
Yeah.
So I noticed like I'm studying her face as she's doing the stuff she does in the video, to because that's where you should focus. That's women have faces, they're people too. Hello, America, and fucking her expressions. I don't know if you've ever known an autistic person, a person with like Asperger's in real life or
I used
autism.
to actually I used to work with people that as like as one of those people that like an aide to help them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So when I don't know, maybe it depends on where you're on the spectrum, how this unfolds, but the people I have known who have it, they emote most of the time when something happens, but it's if you really look at how they emote, it's in such a way that it's almost like an alien that came to Earth who doesn't understand emotions and like emoting is trying to just mimic what they've seen. Like it's just a total fog to them. They don't get like what that's about at all. It's like they're just doing it to look to fit in, to be like, well, this is what people do. They're gonna think I'm
No,
weird if I
man,
don't
that's
do
not
this.
what they do. Like I've worked with them; they don't look like that. You're describing Maddox right now, like in the way that like it's like, oh,
I
this is
thought,
how people behave, so I'm going to
I thought
behave
that's
this
what
way.
Maddox was all about. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, even Maddox has kind of alluded to being like a robot in the biggest problem, where he says like, oh, this like someone said like he
Well-oiled machine,
dominates.
baby.
Yeah, he dominates Dick with his machine logic, and yeah.
Oh, wasn't he the one talking about how like he was gonna just be a brain in a jar, like on Oculus Rift or something?
Yeah, he really likes the Oculus Rift. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very fond of it. I've never actually used. Well, actually, no. I used a demo of it, and it was all right, but it's not as good as he describes it. It's just like
It
uh,
is what it is. Yeah, it's
yeah,
early VR.
like even if they eventually do make like the VR like fleshlight attachment for it, like add on like with Bluetooth connectivity and all that stuff, it's still gonna be
That's what I'm waiting for.
yeah, but like, see, this is the big debate, right? Like, what is going to be the one that finally like makes women useless? Is it going to be the waifu robot, or is it going to be like the VR simulation with like all of the attachments and all that stuff? Like, that's
You
the
know what?
debate.
Yeah, you know what would really be a threat is if they had the robot waifu hook up to the VR. Now she can be whoever you want.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true because like
That's how we solve our incel problem right there. A dude who's been laid by a robot, I prove it to you. I will prove it to you. A dude who was laid by a robot in VR was guaranteed not to shoot up a school.
yeah, and well, I mean, like there've already been like several um well, yeah, there've been like several shootings in like not in VR, but like in video games, like in Gary's mod and stuff like that. It's happened, and I'm pretty sure like
They do happen occasionally, yeah.
I'm pretty sure these are guys who have had relations with these well, again, not necessarily VR, but these non 3D characters and what have you. So you know, I've done a
I
bit
don't
of
know,
research
yeah.
into this field. Like, if you look at my username, it's actually a reference to Kurt Eichenwald. Yeah, you must be familiar with that guy, right?
Oh God, yes. Oh
Yeah.
man,
So of course, me being a big fan of the media and of journalists, I want to emulate them in making my program as family friendly as I'm able to. So that's why I make my username an homage to Kurt Eichenwald for his preferences. Yeah.
old punished Kurt. Yeah,
Yeah, punished Kurt. He
a
didn't
man
deserve
without a
it.
station.
Yeah. So yeah. See, so the way we talk about these things here, like I'm actually releasing on yeah, I'm gonna go to patreon.com/businessboys. I'm gonna put for like a $1 tier. We're gonna have a PDF up where it's an instruction manual on love speech, which is an anti-hate speech form of combating the alt right and hate speech in general, right? So basically, what
Yeah.
this it's like a 3 page. It's really just 3 pages of a PDF, and all it is like teaching you how to use it, right? So normally, the way hate speech works is you would put like someone who you don't like, you put their name in triple parentheses, and then bam, you've anti-Semitized them, right? So
Right, that's absolutely right. Yeah.
so what this is like we're taking the parentheses and putting them on the opposite sides to reverse the polarity of the hatred to turn it into love
Oh,
speech, and then that way you can put that on people who you like, and then it's not hate speech. And
I never would have thought of that, but I think that is genius. Really.
yeah, if like imagine like one day someone might even build up upon this and like make like an add-on for a browser that automatically applies a pre-selected list that you enter in to apply the love speech automatically, and that would be really great if someone would build
You
that
don't
off
even
of
have to
our
do it. Yeah.
yeah
Like it's just automatically there.
yeah. It's like that's the future we have to work towards. So I'm taking the first step here with releasing this PDF. It'll be up on Patreon in a couple of days, and yeah, that's how it's
I
gonna go.
want any fans of mine who are listening to this to go and support this too, because you know me. You've seen my videos. You've heard my music. I'm all about spreading positivity and bringing people together, just like Bunky King. So fucking go and support this guy. Help him do his thing. This love speech shit. We're gonna get rid of hate speech. It's
Yeah.
gonna be amazing. You know that's what we're all about. So let's jump in and support this. I want it fully supported, fully funded.
Yeah, and then we're never gonna get banned from Patreon because if we do, then there'll be an anti hate speech. Then we'll
Yes.
report Patreon to whoever processes their credit cards and get them banned, and for being because anti hate speech is hate speech. So,
Yeah, it's a double negative.
yeah, you can't have that. So yeah, this is a good thing for the world, and that's gonna solve problems somehow by getting us at $1 a month.
Yeah.
We don't know how yet, but yeah, it will definitely. There'll definitely be some resolutions to some really
People
bad
like
stuff.
PDFs. Like I've noticed that there are a lot of websites that sell PDFs of things, but ours is a very short one, so we're only going to charge $1. But other people are charging like $50 for a PDF that teaches you how to make RPGs online and stuff like that. And there's another one that teaches you how to be a homeless nomad.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I'm not saying that they're not legitimate. I've never actually bought any of these, but it probably works. I mean, it's this person who makes money off the internet, but just lives traveling to different places and doesn't have a home. So technically, they're technically homeless. Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah. Well, that might be useful information for.
My ass stuck on my dick. Look at my tummy. I'm a fuck. Hey, bitch, she gon' suck.
Okay, I'm being too loud. I have to calm it down because, yeah, I was being too loud. And my roommates are already all like, "Yo, you're making too much noise." I'm like, "Ah." Yeah.
My bad. I didn't mean to get you too high energy for your roommate. Sorry.
Yeah, because it's already like 10, 16 or 17 right now over here. So yeah, that's how it's going down. What time is it over there in Canada? Or are you in Canada at the moment, or are you like over in visiting another location?
Well, I'm in Nova Scotia now, so it's closer to like 11:30 here.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, now I'm gonna end the stream here because I'm running out of topics to talk about. We already covered the prime topics of how to fix the incel problem, how to fix the cigarette findom problem that's been going on there. Like,
we definitely discussed that one in a lot of detail. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So everybody, go to our Patreon eventually when we put it up there. Okay.